We're joined today by Fitch's TJ Parker. Coach, expectations are always high surrounding your program. With tons of experience returning, from your view, how special can this team be?
We only graduated about, when I'm looking at it, 3 to 4 starters from last year's team. So last year was supposed to be a year of growing for us. And fortunately, we had a lot of guys step up, make plays, and settle into their roles. And now it really is about how much they've grown from last year to where they are going to be this year. Sort of getting after the finer details. We as a team have taken on a motto of chop, which is something we stole from Rutgers about just focusing on one point to chop down a tree. And these guys have taken to it. The senior class, I can't say enough about them as just people, leaders. It's been said before, like when the best people on your team are the best players, you have a really, really good team. And the best people on our team, character wise, are our best players. And that excites me the most. And our seniors are a huge part of that. So, yes, we have a lot of coming back. These guys have, and inside of our program, our expectations can't be bigger than anyone can set on us. But we are excited about what we come back. But we also know, like, every year is a challenge. It's a different challenge. You have different pressures on you, and teams present different things. So as players are emerging, now people are aware of them and they're going to try to take those away. And how do we respond? Do other guys step up and guys in larger roles? So yes, it's an exciting time of year moving in. We have a lot to look forward to, but we know there's a lot of work to be done.
Offensively, have to like what you have back up front and at the skill spots. Talk about those guys when the Falcons have the ball.
Booker Newberry and Trent Ciccarelli, who's a graduating senior, were our only two returning starters on offense. So last year, we really thought we were going to have to be conservative, play defense, hang our hat there. And then as we got going, our O line really gelled. We played some guys there. And now, when you look at our O line, we kept five because we like to stay in 11P. We like to use a tight end. Our tight end returns in DeAndre Reed. And then you got a 3-year starter in Booker Newberry. And then in the middle are two guards and our center, Noah Bolin, two guards, Jaden Lumsden and Jaden Wallace. They return after good seasons last year. And then Anthony Blaylock, who will be a prospect to be talked about for the next few years, got some time last year as a freshman, has really settled in and enjoying that club this year. So up front, we're happy what they accomplished last year and really excited what they can accomplish this year. And then you got to have some guys that can do some things when those guys are working. And we're fortunate enough to have DeAndre Richard in the backfield and his running mate Junie Higgs, who's kind of a do everything guy for us. And that kid's been playing for 3 years, and this will be DeAndre's third year playing. Played as a freshman. Really changed the game and really made us dynamic last year offensively was when Colin Callahar took over at quarterback. He's a kid who can spin it, headsy kid, just a true quarterback in all the sense. And fortunately, he has some weapons that got their feet wet last year that have grown in the offseason with a guy who's we hope can chase our all-time receptions record in Brady Evans. Um, and then you got other guys, Isaiah Porch, Tata Luno, Wayne Holloway, Devanzo Tate will be coming over. It's a good core of wide receivers. But again, they got to step up to the challenge and they got to make plays when they're asked to.
Defensively, 8 starters return. You and your staff have standouts at each of those three levels. How do you see that group as of right now to where they can go?
I think up front has always been a challenge for us, and it's shaping up to be our defensive line is the most depth we have on the team, probably outside of running back right now. So we feel like we can go too deep on the defensive line, and not lose a step. You got a kid who played 4 years for us, and DeMar Rogers returns. JoJo Lumsden, who's just a tough kid in the middle, and then John Vaughn, who got a lot of good reps last year. And then behind those guys, it's Jason Casada, who had a heck of an offseason, Xavier Mayo in the middle, and then a first-time football player for us, um, a Medved who's out for us this year has shown a lot of promise. So we're deep there at linebacker, where we turned two guys who were players for us last year, and Marky Fitzgerald um, and Dylan Crone. We've got some new guys that we'll count on them to be the leaders of the defense, those two guys in the middle. But then you add an Anthony Nispecka, and then an Anthony Booth Blaley. Those guys kind of round out right now what's looking to shape up to be our linebacking core, which we feel good about. Those guys can run. And then our secondary, I think, has been the biggest improvement in our offseason. Last year, regular season, we gave up 5 rushing touchdowns and 20 passing touchdowns, which was kind of odd for us. So we put an emphasis on making sure those guys are growing, and our two corners have shown a great amount of improvement and looking for huge years from both Devanzo Tate and Wayne Holloway. And then you have Junie Higgs back at safety, and then Isaiah Porch is really, really shaping up to be a nice player for us. And then with all that, I think at our level, what's going to matter is depth. And we have a lot of young guys that are right behind those guys, looking for positions, looking to play, looking to crack the lineup. And some of them are right there. So those are the guys that I'm talking about right now. But I'm sure a lot of that's going to change by week 1.
Over these next few weeks, Coach, throughout camp and into those scrimmages, what are some of the things you hope to see your team improve upon before week 1, before you get into the thick of the season?
Yeah, I think, when you have first time starters like we did last year, a lot of guys, it's one of those things where, you want to make sure they're running the play right. You want to make sure our operations right. You want to make sure our coverages are good and we're playing sound defensively. You want to make sure all of that is done the right way. Then when you get experienced guys back, everything lies in the details and the communication and the talk. And I encourage our guys to be coaches on the field. Um, they should know what we want, how we want it done from the second they wake up in the morning um, till they go to bed at night. They should know what representing a true Fitch Falcon football player means, and how they should go about their business. So I think that when you have player coaches on the field, that's what I want to see. And fortunately, at this point in the summer, that's what we're getting. We've had to push some guys along, but they're doing a good job responding.